Hello viewers, welcome to the next edition of MedTalk, a very special one indeed as we step into 2024. We're just a few days away from 2024 and we've just celebrated Christmas yesterday. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all our viewers. I have two very special guests here with me today. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Varsha Puri. So dear viewers, Dr. Varsha Puri is the Deputy Executive Health Officer steering the entire TB portfolio that you can talk about in Mumbai. Before this, she has worked on malaria, vaccination, tobacco prevention and a whole lot of other national and state level programs that she has documented great success in. And now she's helping Mumbai kill TB. Right. Welcome, Dr. Varsha.
Thank you so much for this warm welcome and thank you for calling me on this show, and a very new year to all the viewers also.
Thank you. Our pleasure. And our young doctor here is Dr. Prerna Kherajani, a recent medical graduate from the LTMC and working as a medical officer in Apla Davakhana. Welcome, Dr. Prerna.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's exciting, always to have the next generation along with the generation that has mastered it all, right?
Absolutely.
So as is the theme of MedTalk about career conversations, with the successful senior doctors and young dynamic medical doctors, I hope you benefit from this, Dr. Prerna, as do our viewers, because I'm sure there's a lot Dr. Varsha has to share about the public health doctor space and how aspirants can achieve similar success like her. So Dr. Varsha, I want you to go back into your journey that, how have you really, accomplished this kind of a success in the public health sector and how the government has taken steps about TB, which is something that is troubling our country so much. And would you like to share a little bit about this TB journey?
Yeah. So basically, as I said, when I was also a young graduate, there were many thoughts in mind about what exactly to go. And then after doing my public health examination, I came into this. And as you mentioned, we have done various work in malaria, TB, leprosy, and also especially about the Tobacco Prevention Act. And now I'm hitting the TB department. And when you go and look at the vastness of the disease, and the thing about TB is that it is airborne disease. So the public at whole is at risk, and to control such an airborne disease is a real major task, to take about. But then lots of things are being done by the government to stop this TB thing, eliminate TB, and as our Honorable Prime Minister has already declared the global aim by 2025. So many things are coming up in TB, many diagnostic facilities have been come up. The more the diagnosis, the more the treatment, earlier treatment and better prevention. Also the public awareness is a major role taken up by the preventive health department, where you make the public aware of what the risks are, what the factors are, which will influence the TB control in the community as a whole. So lots of technical diagnostic skills, lots of preventive medicines come up, lots of medicines which are given at a particular course, and these medicines taken on time, ensuring the recovery of the patients.
Great. So I don't know how many of you are aware, but there's a huge elimination drive by the government, as Dr. Varsha mentioned, to achieve this goal. And if you are not a Nikshay Mitra, TB Nikshay Mitra, you can do it now. Nothing stops you. Any person, any organization can adopt these TB patients and give them nutritional supplements or support, as Doctor mentioned. So I'm happy to say that Metropolis is also a TB Nikshay Mitra, and we have adopted 1,000 TB patients very much around this district, and they're all doing well, they're recovering, there's good compliance. So don't think much, go on the website and register yourself as a TB Nikshay Mitra.
So actually we are very thankful to Metropolis. See, when I was talking of TB as a burden for the community, one thing is that the government is doing what it needs to be done. But as along the line, the government realized that the public involvement into this is much more important, because prevention is a better part of treating any of the, controlling any of the disease. So in the prevention part, it felt that the community participation in this TB program is of very much important. So when we are talking of this, by community participation, we have got this TB champions who are the sufferers of TB themselves, right from a very young age to old age. These TB champions are going into areas, we have given them demarcated areas, they go and talk of their own experience. So it's kind of a peer hand holding, and giving them that yes, we have controlled diseases and we have conquered it in spite of all the hassles. Secondly, after this community engagement, we are talking of patients knowing the app. what exactly is TB, where they have to actually go for TB, because in this disease time is very important. If you don't lose on time, then you can get a better treatment, earlier treatment, and a lesser part of the treatment. So patient are going, they have to go to the Apla app, and they can understand where and how to reach out, which is the nearest place for them to go. And all government facilities are giving this TB free treatment, no out-of-pocket expenditure for the patient. And thirdly, that the government felt that the community involvement, whether it is an individual or whether it is a big corporate houses, what you very well mentioned, and we are thankful to Metropolis for taking so much of the patients and giving them this Nikshay Mitra. So as a whole, when we are talking of Nikshay Mitra, we are just expecting that a nutrition packet, a high protein diet packet to be given to the patient, because in TB immunity is at risk. Absolutely. So to bring up this immunity, the dietitians have planned a protein diet, and this dry ration is in the form which we give to the patients, and it is a family ration. So the persons who are in close contact with the TB also have this ration, and their immunity gets high. So yes, we are looking forward for all these things, and Metropolis has started and flagged off this, and we are looking for other people to come forward also towards
But the burden is very high, so we need more and more people to, get into it, like a community act, like the way Dr. Varsha mentions. So that's one thing. Yes, Dr. Prerna. So I hear you want to do MD medicine.
Absolutely.
Right? That's a very difficult field. So which are the tools, platforms, opportunities do you think that you can avail of or are availing of, and that's each one of them is helping you to step up and somewhere reach that goal that you have in mind?
Of course. So I'm actually planning to pursue my career in MD medicine in the United States of America. So for that, I have given my USMLE exams. There are 3 exams, and I mean the journey is long as well as it can be expensive. So one thing that I really want to mention here is I want to pay my big gratitude to Metropolis for organizing the MedEngage program, because that is something that really helped me with my journey. Along with that, now the program has come up with the research grant, which just opens more doors for everyone that wants to pursue their specialties when they go abroad, because research is something that is paid a lot of importance to. So the fact that you all are sponsoring a research grant, you're actually encouraging so many young doctors to come up and just, carry out research, and you're funding them, which is one of the biggest limitations. So Metropolis was my biggest supporter, I have to say.
Thank you for validating that. So again, for the viewers who do not know, Metropolis started a program called MedEngage, which is about nurturing young medical talent. It's a medical college outreach program, and it takes nothing from the student, it only gives. Now, what can it give? So what we had done is that we had interviewed about 1,000 young students and arrived at what we could give. So students need support. They need financial support, as she mentioned. So we give scholarships. Students need, sometimes they want to do research and they want some arena, or they want some, help. They want an observership. They want an internship. So all of that was a part of the program. And after 5 years of successful running, and I think last year we gave 250 scholarships worth 1.75 CR. This year we have twisted the program a bit, and we have included even the internship year. So from MBBS all the years, plus MD, MS, DNB all the years, plus internship. And we've added 3 twists to it, one of them being the research grant, because research is important, right? Innovation is key today. The way the medical science is evolving, innovation becomes very, very important. And these young kids need to demonstrate that research if they want good opportunities abroad and even in India. So you need to document the fact that you've thought of something good, it's made a difference, and you can handle a project. So I think that's one thing. So thank you for validating our thought. And the other things that we've added is we've included aspirational districts. So again, as Dr. Varsha mentioned, in our own way, we are trying to help the government. So government wants to uplift the aspirational districts. So this time we've reserved a percentage of our cases only for aspirational districts.
That's nice, actually. And I think this has to be advertised on a more larger scale.
Bombay having 4 medical colleges. Yeah, we are advertising. So please follow the Metropolis MedEngage web pages, social media, Instagram. I don't know, my daughters will be able to rattle out these names better. But wherever you go on digital today, you will see our campaign, and we want more and more medical students from all across the country. And I'm happy to share that we've just been like 10 days and already we have received more than 250 applications. Yeah. We have received 1,000 plus registrations for MedEngage, but we've received 250 plus applications already. And what is most heartening is that these applications are coming from the remotest of towns and states, where even Metropolis is not there, which actually shows me the power of digital, because we are not there. We don't have brick and mortar facilities, but everybody is looking at Insta, everybody is looking at FB, and they've seen it. So so thank you for that, Dr. Prerna.
It's a good thing to have this. But one more thing is that as she is going to settle out, or maybe for the other people who are the audience, we need to say that there are lots many fields in India which are still there. There are so many national programs which are into research. There are so many national programs which needs the attention of these new doctors coming in. We have
She's trying to hold you in India.
No, not her, but for the sake of the audience.
Absolutely.
See, we are doing this national, we are covering diabetes and we are seeing hypertension. We are almost seeing that 60% of our people are suffering from this. Even the youngsters are suffering now from diabetes. So we have started a national drive in that way. Mumbai is piloting certain programs for national. So there are lots of work to be done here, lots of researchers in this. Also mental health, as she had mentioned it also, that mental health is also a big thing, and stress, as you know, everybody is having stress these days. So even that is there, and more, I think Metropolis can look deeper into this and take up other programs.
So
also.
I'll tell you about diabetes now that you mentioned. We did a dipstick study of about 1.5, nearly 2 lakh people, 175, and what we found was that, as you very correctly said, 30% were diabetic, 45% were pre-diabetic. So a good 75% people are actually sitting on this, so it's good you're doing MD medicine.
Yeah, and when we are talking of diabetes, diabetes then leads you to TB, leads you to HIV, because then the immunity is compromised. I think we have a large avenue here for people who are wanting to come in, and now with the digital platform,
maybe she'll come back. First let her go. So you always say, first let a person do what they want to do, and then they reach a position where they can actually decide. So we'll come to that later. But first, what else is helping you, Prerna? How do you think you'll reach there?
So I also have UpToDate and PubMed. These are 2 platforms that I think everyone should be aware of, and knowing how to use these correctly is, I'm actually very impressed that now colleges are teaching medical students how to use these 2 platforms.
We do take a training for medical students at large to how to use, because I've heard this many times, that people don't know how to use these 2 platforms properly.
Of course, exactly.
So we run another webinar series of MedTalk, which is more about training.
Perfect.
So, we can think of that in that. Good idea. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So more and more people can.
Exactly. I would be honored to actually do that.
Great.
Because it's something that I feel everyone needs to learn, especially considering the fact that data from all across the world is actually put on UpToDate. You have all the standard guidelines that are going up there, which means that we should shift our practice more towards evidence-based medicine rather than practice-based medicine. It's really important for us to come down to that now. So I feel it was UpToDate that really helped me through my medical school and is helping me even now. And of course, I was able to do a lot of rotations while I was in my final year of medical school. So I had the opportunity to go to the United States and just rotate there for 4 months as a medical student. I was exposed to various fields over there. I was able to see how medicine is practiced in their healthcare system. And actually we have a lot of programs even in India that are sponsoring students to go there just to get that sort of exposure. So it's something that I feel medical students need to look into more. The exposure is of course broadening now thanks to digital media. We're getting more knowledge about all of this. But yeah, I think these are the tools that have helped me so far.
Great. So hope you succeed.
Kirti, one more point is, at our time, we didn't have this counseling session. And I think nowadays, these interns have this counseling session kind of a thing. Even before, even after 12, they have this NIT also, they do the counseling for the students and
Very
all.
nice.
So that has really helped out these students to actually, there are lots of clouds in their mind, what to do and what not. But the college is also helping them give the clarity, and then people like you are putting the platform on a more higher scale.
So all the best, Dr. Prerna. Hope you are able to do MD medicine from a good institute and score high.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Dr. Varsha, being a doctor myself, I know that apart from being, an ace doctor, which I think I hopefully am, and a gold medalist, but I think many other things, many other attributes have helped me reach where I am. I'm sure there are many gold medalists like me, but everybody will not be in a similar position. So public health sector is, I think, a little bit of a black box for many. People do not understand it, people do not know it. So I think it's a very good opportunity for you to share with our audience and young doctors that which attributes or qualities or skills helped you to achieve where you are and how you are navigating this whole journey in the public health sector. And if you have to advise young doctors, to enter it and navigate it, what would be your suggestions?
A very good question, because when you are a doctor and when you are practicing outside, it's basically you and the patient, okay, and it's your administration. But when you are in public health, you have a patient who is looking to you for all the help needed. You have a governing agency over you who may or may not give you what all you want to give it to the patient back. So basically the very first thing which you need is to firstly understand the whole question and what is wanting, to perfectly put it in very crisp manner what we wanted from the government or the other NGOs, and patience is a big thing which we need here, because you just can't blow out and say I'm not getting this and tell back to the patient no, it's not going to happen. And now the community is much more aware of what is happening in and around. As you know, these young doctors are also aware. So in public health, whenever we are seeing with the patient, there is a whole family going to question you. There are the other elected members, so-called, who are going to question you. Then you have to, crisply think about what exactly is the best for the patient, and then program it that way and put up your requirements to the state or to whatever the government body is, and to put it up in such a way that you show that it's very essential and it's need to be done here. And these admin skills which I'm talking of right now are much more, and then as a human you need to have sympathy towards the patient and understand his needs. See, basically if we are talking of some private thing, the patient is willing to give his time here. Here we are having patients who are from slums, non-slums, and even from the higher ups, but then they are all coming here with a time bound thing. We want to get back quickly to work, we don't want to lose on our daily wages. So it's a very thin line to walk on. So you have to tell the patient that be adherent to the program, you give you a little time because it's for your own benefit. Then patient will say it's not me, it's my family. If I'm not working, my family will suffer. It's okay if I suffer. So how do you guide them? How do you counsel them? And then with the counseling, once you have their faith in you, then they will do what you want to be done. So as an administrator, you have to be, working this way and that way, both sides, see from the patient point of view and also see from the governing body. So patients and the study of that. And Mumbai geography, it's all different. Sometimes you are sitting with people who are in Gorai, sometimes you are sitting on the slums which are on higher up mountains. So thinking of all these geographies, thinking of knowing of all the facilities which are available, how you can make the patient flow travel easily to you. Then we are seeing all our KMs and our OPDs which are such a big OPD, how you can fast track your patient, how fast tracking for the purpose of the community, so that the disease spread is avoided, fast tracking for the need of the patient, so he is not wasting his time and energy, and he is already a down patient, and when we are talking to more of the patients, they are wanting this, that we want little sympathy, that let's fast forward us, we don't have, they cannot, they are taking medicines, so their hunger is there, they have to eat on time, or they have to take their medicines on time. So all these things have to be thought of, and the program has to be thought of from patient point of view, government point of view, community point of view.
Right.
All these three things has to be done.
Great. So you all heard that, right? So there is a third cog in the wheel, the government and the governing bodies, and there is a community in which every action of yours is going to impact. So unless you factor these two things, you cannot really help the patient. Yes. And the more patients you help, the faster you grow as a doctor. So that's, thank you for that, Dr. Varsha. Yes, Dr. Prerna. So now let us imagine either you have followed your gut instincts and you are in the US of A, or you follow Dr. Varsha's advice and come back to India. What would that be? Which one would you choose and why?
So if I have to be very honest, I know that right off the bat, I just want to train at a very supportive internal medicine program where I'm exposed to a diverse range of pathologies and learn evidence-based medicine, along with being able to create evidence to practice that evidence-based medicine. So for now, I see the United States as the place that will provide me with that platform. As to whether I want to come back or I want to stay there, I just know that I want to be a global health provider. Wherever that is, I know that I want to serve the community. And along with that, I know I want to be an educator and a mentor. So I don't think it really matters where you practice, it's more about how you practice that is actually important. So for now, I just know that I want to be a very good global health provider.
I don't blame you. So when I was at the Sloan Kettering for my onco training, I didn't want to come back because it was too exciting, because you could treat everything, you could diagnose everything, like all the facility was available. Exactly. If I was not married, I did not have children, I would have not come back actually. I would have just worked as a pathology assistant also over there. But then as you said very correctly, there comes a time when you have learned it all and then you have actually to practice. And there is no more fertile soil than India to practice because it is need. the greater the need, the better your impact will be.
Right.
So, and today, because of digitization, automation, actually we can impact so many more lives than we could yesterday, right?
Exactly.
So I totally agree with your thought process. I have done the same, and
And
hope you are able
but
to
you are
do
happy
it.
now that you come back. Otherwise, there you would have been just as a pathologist working.
I
Here you
don't know,
become a
as she said, you know, that as long as, see, I play Sherlock Holmes every day, right? I'm
Yeah.
an oncopathologist. So as long as I'm able to decode even one disease a day, I'm happy. Like yesterday was such a long, hard day, but I had diagnosed a brain tumor for the first time in my life. For the first time I signed out a case, you know, of something, and that gave me such a high,
Yeah.
you know. So I think, you know, it's all about that. So anyway, on that note, thank you so much for coming, for joining us, and wish you both a very, very happy new year and great success in the public health sector, and hope you turn out to be an ace MD medicine.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
and a very
much for
happy new
having
year
us.
to you also.
On that note, happy new year everyone, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode.